A very warm welcome to all our viewers today in our Women's Program. Today, in our Women's Program, we have a dynamic young woman entrepreneur, Elilia Marbaniang. Welcome to our program. She is the co-founder of Kevil Wines along with her partner, Kevin Kirshan Pasa. Once again, welcome to you, Elilia. So, you are also wearing multiple hats. You are having a day job and also you've become an entrepreneur. So I'm sure our viewers would like to know what made you, choose, besides having your job, to become an entrepreneur. How was your journey started as an entrepreneur?
Okay, thank you so much for having me here. My name is Elilia Marbaniang. I'm staying here in Nong Thamai, Laojindria. And obviously I have completed my Master of Social Work since 2014, and now and after that I'm working also as a counselor. And for me, why I've chosen this as an entrepreneur, why I've started this business, it's because we have started from 2020, and that was during COVID time. It was quite challenges for us also at that time. So since I have seen there are a lot of farmers at that time who don't have access to market for the fruits, so we came out with this business, which is a winemaking. So now I'm also a winemaker. And also our main objective is to, to promote and also to provide a deserving market for our local indigenous fruit, and also to provide an income or a job opportunity for a fruit grower by sourcing all the fruits from the farmer itself. And so yes, we are making wine from natural fruits. We don't use any artificial flavor on it.
Okay, that's wonderful, Elilia. So you started your journey, like you said, that as during the COVID especially, yes, it was a very challenging time for our farmers, as long, with everyone around, especially for farmers to reach a market, like you have said, and it was an initiative. So how did you start your journey when it comes to communicating with farmers? Because, it is a big challenge itself, like how you have said,
yes,
that during COVID, right? So, and it's a wonderful thing that you have thought that to provide a market for especially our local fruits, and to convert them into wine. Because I think in today's, is it a fortunate or unfortunate in certain ways, but then wine connoisseurs all over are taking a lot of interest in Meghalaya wines, especially with all these festivals happening. So if I'm to believe, you also started one part of your journey through one certain festival like that. So could you just elaborate for our viewers to know, you've already said about your journey, but about the challenges and how did you start with the fest which came about?
Okay. Like as a woman entrepreneur, of course, there are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of ups and downs. And like as to say, for us just to start a winery also at that time, it was quite challenging. Like it's not easy for us also to get an NOC to set up a winery in here. So we have to go and convince the headmans like up to 5 times just to make them understand of how this business will help our farmers also. Because like if you are supporting us, you are supporting our farmers also who is behind us. And like to say, we have participated in so many festivals, being it small or big, because this is the only way whereby we can showcase our products, we can let the people taste our wine, so that, and at the same time we can educate people about wine. Because I think it will take a lot of time to educate people about wine, because like when we talk about wines, especially in so many locality in here, in Meghalaya, people, when we are trying to promote fruit wine, they think that we are trying to promote some kind of alcohol or hard drinks, which is not easily accepted. But obviously with the help of the governments and all, we are like coming up now. There are so many winemaking and entrepreneurs now.
Yes, I think that is another challenge for them to understand the difference between, first, the challenges of an entrepreneur, because entrepreneur is taking a risk. It is a big risk. And also I think what you said, that to convincing people that it is a valid market and it's not like a substance abuse or something, and it can be a luxury. It can help a lot of our farmers, especially like you've said, to create a market for for them to at least have a direct supply of their products be taken up. And especially when you are promoting local entrepreneurs, it opens a market for more younger people to participate in that. So I think convincing was our biggest challenge,
Yes.
like you've said. So do you think that in near future, because the market, like you've said, now there are a lot of festival happenings, right? So when was the first time you attended a fest or where your products were launched, so that our viewers also be a part of that journey?
For us, since we have started in 2020, and the first time that we are participating, it was on Cherry Blossom, that is in 2021. And at that time, we also get a chance to participate in the local wine and beer competition, whereby we are also the winner at that time. So I'm very happy actually to get recognized at that time. And yes, now not only in festival, we also are selling in wine store, in restaurants. Yeah, from there only people, they are getting to know about us more.
Okay, that's wonderful. You've grown. And what you said, yes, visibility is also very important. And the first challenge is, I think, to make people understand what winemaking is. And it is not harmful, and it is a proper market and a proper business, like you have said. And also, like, our local restaurants and everywhere accepting, and your market opening up. And so what would you say your marketing, especially for our young entrepreneurs who are looking today, or perhaps their parents who are skeptical about entrepreneurship, be it any field, if they are looking today at our program, they'll also feel inspired or get some idea as to okay, there is some scope. Because again, entrepreneur, like I said, we're coming from a place that we come from. It's usually categorized into like what is like the proper day job supposed to be, So when you are making as a person from our own place, then our people also can relate to, parents can relate to, okay, it's okay, our children can become entrepreneurs, So when you say that, how would you say to our future or entrepreneurs or who are observing today this program, that how do you go about, what was your go-to first of marketing, if you have ever thought of your marketing way of approaching your product?
So in here, when we're talking about entrepreneur, I know it's not an easy journey, but then when you have to introduce our products into the market, first of all, I think you must participate in festival. And then, yes, door to door, that will always happen. Whenever we meet people, new people, we're trying to introduce our products, even though there's so many negative thought at the same time, but still, we have to make them understand that this is something like entrepreneur will help us, because right now, there are so many unemployment youth.
Right.
And then by doing this, you are not only helping or employing yourself, but then you are giving job opportunity for the others as well.
I think yes, very true. I mean, and not many, we always categorize ourselves to get a government job, but it is not possible especially with our growing population and everything. So entrepreneurial is, one thing what you said, and I hope our viewers can, relate to, or at least understand where she's coming from in actually putting up the, the challenges, to say that it is not easy to convince people also in the market. But once your product is good, I think it plays a more important part, because when your product is good, people will like it. But again, coming from a very risky, especially when starting with winemaking, like we say, again, people, how you said, they think that it's alcohol and it's bad. And of course, we still have alcoholism problem, but people also needs to differentiate that a habit and out of something which is a pleasurable thing, and to, to consume it in a responsible way, more importantly. I think that also is one message people, and for you all as an entrepreneur to convince, especially in the line of winemaking, I'm sure it's a tough thing, like you said. So when you said about the festivals, how do you feel it opened up ventures, and how were your experiences with the audience in the festival?
Like during festivals, the most important thing is that we have to like give people free tasting so that they'll understand what fruit wine is all about. Because during festival, I must say that there are people not only from local, there are people from outside, there are tourists who comes, and they are the only one who will spread the message about how our fruit wine tasted. And I would like to say, like, only not here in Meghalaya, we do participate outside the state also, like Delhi, and in Mumbai also. We want people to know about what we have here in Meghalaya. and it is from here that we will get to showcase our products, and people also, yes, they will understand more about what is our capacity in here.
It's really nice because when you talk about representing outside, you're actually representing your state, and more so, you know, with grapes and all, everywhere is there, but specifically you work on your local indigenous fruits, which is locally only just available here. I think that puts a lot of positive highlight on what local fruits can and what are the different kinds of local fruits here. Coming back to your entrepreneurial journey and your wine, so what actually made you choose the name, you know, Kevel Wines? How did you come about your branding?
Okay, it's not just me alone that have started this business. I also do have another co-founder, which is Kershan Kevin Pasa. And you know, at that time when we are trying to pick up the name, the brand name, it was not that easy for us. We tried to come out with so many names actually, but it doesn't work. But lastly, we came out as Kevel, which is the combinations of my name and my co-founder name. K-E-V is it's the co-founder, and E-double-L, it's me, the founder. That's why we came out as Kevel, which make people easy to, you know, remember, because if we go outside the state, you know, if we give some like local name which is quite difficult for them to pronounce, so but then we feel like Kevel, it's a perfect name for our brand.
Yes, and what you've said is wonderful, because you know, you've brought in both your partner's name and it turned out to be a very good, you know, with your acronyms from your names, you have made it into a good name. And yes, what you said, very true, because you know, for us sometimes it's easy for us here, but for outside people to actually recognize a brand, which is easily you can speak about or you can identify. Yes, Kevel comes in it's a beautiful name which comes in, you know, for handy for other people also. So yeah, it's a very catchy name too, I must say. So it's yes, it's wonderful that, you know, you've come up with that. So coming back to your winery, when you first started, what are the first, were you starting with all the flavors, or how did you start your journey when it comes to flavor choosing, or as into which fruits you will start with, and how many flavors do you have now?
Okay. Like when we first started, I must say that it was not that big as now, because we have started with just 500 liters, I must say, because at that time we didn't, when it comes to financially support also, it's not that easy, because whatever we have, we just spent on how to you know, start this business. So but now thankfully we are annually we are producing around 5,000 liters per year. But that also depends, if there are more demands, we are planning to expand more in our market. And yes, we have a variety, we have around like 10 to 12. Because here we don't produce grape wine, we have to, fruit wine, it's seasonal. So whatever we get during season, we used to produce wine. So now we have like soyang, passion fruit, pineapple, gooseberry, guava, and then we even have some wild fruit like solang, and then wild apple, which is quite popular in here.
Okay, so you have a variety of flavors, you know, so that's wonderful, yeah. And what you said, yes, when it's locally, so obviously it is seasonal. So you're producing it, and the batch starts again, demands also. So your batch is basically around what you have said, but yeah, as per the demands, you are increasing your batch. That's wonderful. Coming back to the schemes, you said the financial part when you start as an entrepreneur, but now government are initiating entrepreneurial, you know, schemes also to say. So how would you say that, and how do you feel about these schemes, and how do you think are helping, or do you think there needs to be a bit more aid needed, especially for young startup entrepreneurs, because they already we have our startups, Prime Hub is there, but coming back to that, how many of people do they understand, and how do you feel accessibility to such schemes is for, say, suppose whoever our viewers are today who are saying that, oh, okay, maybe even I'll start a, you know, entrepreneurship, and how do I go about it? So how do you think what was available, like you said, financial, you know, that challenges there, how do you think the scenario is changing, if any, and what more do you think is needed?
Okay. Like, of course, Prime has really helped a lot of entrepreneurs, but when it comes to wine, there's no they don't give loan actually for the winemakers, because like recently also have applied, but of course there are so many ways, like from food processing, even from nectar also they are giving this one the grant for up to 25 lakhs for startups, which will be very helpful even for us also as a startup, because like if we didn't get any help from the government, then it will become very difficult. But here in Meghalaya, our governments, I think it's very genuine when it comes to entrepreneurs and all.
So you feel the schemes are helping in some way?
Yes.
And for our young entrepreneurs today who are seeing, please, this is an information which you can take, or if your friends are wanting to become an entrepreneur, you can share this information. I think it's a very, very valuable information, Elilia, because a lot of young people, they think, okay, yes, now fine, yeah, we want to do business or we want to be an entrepreneur and startup. But then, yeah, when it comes to finance, not everyone can have, or they might think, how do I go about it? So yeah, like you've said, they can go for nectar, they can for these kind of schemes. But yeah, when it comes to wine, you can go through those schemes, but not as a prime hub. But for other entrepreneurs who are probably watching today, our program, they can apply through Prime Hub, right? So coming back to, again, your journey, how do you see yourself in the coming years, or have you any chartered plans? Have you any envision for your brand, and how do you see it in the near future?
Like now we are really into, because there's a lot of demand when it comes to fruit wine, so we are planning to expand our business, because we are also planning to do in a much bigger space, whereby we can make a lot of production so as to meet the demands in the market, because it's not only just here in Meghalaya, but then we do want to sell outside the states as well, especially in Assam also we do want, because like now in here we are, according to this license that we have now, is selling in Meghalaya, but hopefully in the future where we are able to scale up our productions, we'll be able to sell in the entire Northeast India.
So your future plans is obviously to spread it out for at least for the next coming years. You're looking at the entire Northeast market. Okay, that's wonderful. So you're looking at selling in have you chartered into just selling into like restaurants, how you're doing, or wineries, wine shops, or you're looking at the entire aspect of it?
Actually, we are selling from a winery, and then wine store, restaurants, and even in some homestay. And there are a lot of customers actually who who get our contact, especially from our Instagram or Facebook page. You can always check our page from there and get our contact.
Okay, so you think, coming back to your Facebook and Instagram page, do you think, like when we started a conversation, we said marketing, you said how you started about door to door and like, from mouth to mouth when someone tasted or say with your friends and family, that's how you started. So do you think digital marketing or digital platform plays a very important role? And how do you think it has helped your market to further grow? And how do you think it helps, or perhaps could help more entrepreneurs? Do you think digital platform plays a very important role?
Yes, of course, because like nowadays everyone is on the internet, and then without the digital marketing, people will not know us. So that's why it's very much important that we must be at digital marketing, so that it will be easy for not only for people here, but then even the entire world also will see us.
So you feel the digital marketing space is the way to go? Okay, that's wonderful. Coming back to your journey, how are you managing? Because like I said, you are wearing two hats. So as an entrepreneur, of course, it is very demanding, because a lot of time, because how, again, when we say a proper, like the day kind of a job, until unless you're making it big, it's a challenge. So how do you think, or what are your feels about managing two hats? Because you're also wearing two hats at the same time. So I hope our viewers can connect and relate to, if you would share about how you're balancing, the two acts of your perspective of your lives as a counselor, because you're still practicing as a counselor, and as an entrepreneur, because the challenges, I'm sure, are galore.
Yes, as a woman entrepreneur, I must say I have a lot of responsibility, and it's very challenging because I have to balance with my household work at work, and then same with the business. So like during daytime, I used to be in the office, and then in the evening, we used to do the wine making, and we used to invest our times in our business. Actually, it's not that easy, but then we do have our team to help us with this.
So I think team plays are very important. So for our viewers out there, how you started with your team, and how many team members do you have now as we are growing? You know, with God's blessing, you're growing a lot. So how do you think your team members have changed, and you know, so who is looking after what? So that, you know, our especially like you said, women entrepreneurs have a better understanding, more so, because see, it's ours as women, like you said, we have a lot of challenges. First and foremost, to have this entrepreneurial streak, they'll say yes. I think in Northeast, women somewhere down the line, even if not highlighted that way, were always entrepreneurs in certain ways. You know, they were selling stuffs, they were selling, say, kwai or, you know, local product. But now with the term coming up more as an entrepreneur, defined, the role, you know, has been more defined. So how would you say your journey started with your team members, and how many team members do you have in your brand now today?
Right now we have around, like the permanent one who is with us, it's around 5 of us. But then we do have someone who is doing part-time, also helping us hand in hand to be able, because like I'm not full-time, but then still this work, because there are someone behind us who is helping us achieving our targets actually.
I think that's very important. And how was your family? More importantly, I think this is a very crucial question, because for our young women entrepreneurs, it is, I think it's very, very important to understand that support system in any ways is very, very important. So could you just like highlight that, you know, as a support system, because we always say yes, as women we have challenges, but as a support system, how would you say your support system? Who is your support system? And you know, what would you say for other women entrepreneurs seeking support or create a support system? What would you advise them?
Here we have a lot actually. It's we are trying to, you know, give opportunity for the women who is with us. Even though our co-founder is a male, but then we have a woman who is with us. But then if we have someone who is like helping us or supporting us, it's not easy or it's not tough for us also to achieving our goals and our targets. And we should always believe in what we are doing, believe in our dreams, have our big dreams, because I do believe, I do learn until now that we have to be strong in ourselves, you know, we have to build our own dreams, because there is no one who can help us or doing anything for us unless we ourselves, we are strong, and you know, keep on working on achieving our goals.
I think it's something very poignant you said, that, you know, if we don't have our goals, if we don't know what we want, you know, we'll still be confused, and with help also it will be of no use. And I think that's a very, very strong statement you have made, and I hope our women viewers who are watching or want to change and start, say, you know, being an entrepreneur, will find it very, very helpful. So just one parting line, if you are to say, before, because I know we can go on talking about the entire journey in more detail, but since we are running short of time, so one parting line you would say for the young entrepreneurs, and specifically for also the women entrepreneurs out there who are viewing our program today.
Okay. So always have a big dream and do not lose hope, because even though with a lot of unemployment, but now since entrepreneurs is something that we can do, we can help others. So always believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, work hard, and always you'll be success. Even though there will be failure, but then take the failure as a step to success.
I think that is very, very important. Thank you so much for saying this, because sometimes we think that, you know, when we look into the end part of the dream, we always think, oh, the success, but we forget the journey, the hardships, the failures. But I think this, what you've said, is very, hopefully will encourage our young women, especially young women entrepreneurs out there, or even any woman who wants to become an entrepreneur at any age, that you can break barriers if you have your strong dreams. And like you have said, you know, that don't give up on it, work hard, because at the end of the day, you yourself has to be the support system first for yourself, and then only you can expect someone else to create a support system for you. I think these are very, very important words for our women out there today, and I hope they can relate to, take a bit of information when what you said about the schemes, and also be encouraged to follow their dreams and their heart. Thank you once again, Elilia, for being a part, and thank you so much for putting it out there very, very simply and very straightforwardly, that you have to be your own fighter first, and then create a support system for others, like what you are doing. You know, like we have said, you're encouraging young other women to be a part of your team. Thank you once again. It was lovely having you here, and I hope our viewers today will be taking back little bit of information or whatever information they can relate to, and I hope they'll be encouraged, and parents would be encouraged enough to their children to feel and become entrepreneurs. Thank you once again for being a part of our program today. Thank you.